awesome was that? Well, here I am sitting in the airport getting ready to head north of Edmonton, Alberta. I got an interesting text about 10 days ago from Colin Paley, who I hunted black bears with 2 years ago with Jason Matzinger, and he had a cancellation hunt. So if I didn't know Colin, I wouldn't have taken advantage of this opportunity. He started sending me some trail cam photos with a little bit of eye candy. The bucks are getting out of velvet, turning hard horns, so their patterns are going to change. And even though the elk are bugling here in Montana, I decided to take a chance and head up there for 7 days to hunt with Colin. So we'll see what we can do. Should be a great archery adventure for Alberta Whitetail. So far, that's the only thing I've seen this morning, but it was kind of fun to watch him hunt and catch a mouse or a vole or whatever it was. It's still early. It's really a quiet morning. It's beautiful out here. Even though we haven't seen a deer, we got ducks and geese flying around. Just fun to be sitting in a stand in Canada. On the tree leaf in front. So I never got him in focus, and he was coming across the field, probably got about 80 yards away, and then turned and took off and blew when he got into the tree line. A couple times I'm sure he's gone. Wind, there's hardly any right now. It's a nice, heavy 4x4.
This segment is brought to you by Siberian Coolers. Be the alpha, own the alpha.
Well, as you can see, the forecast, albeit a bit late, was accurate. You could really feel the temperature dropping this morning, and started drizzling. The wind picked up even more, and the rain turned to snow. So we got a few hours before we might go to the stand, but if this wind kicks up and it doesn't let out, tonight may be a wash. But if it starts letting up and the wind dies down, I assume the deer are going to want to get out and feed. I didn't quite come prepared for this cold a temperature. Might have to borrow something from Colin to sit out there for tonight, but I can imagine it could be pretty good if all the planets align right. So September 12th in Alberta, winter came early.
That's a good sign. Doe came out in the daylight. Still got a little over an hour left of light, so hopefully a big buck will do the same thing. But that always helps warm the spirits. Something comes in close like that, so just keep our fingers crossed that that's not the only action again tonight. Showed up on film, but I actually was going to take the bigger of the 2 8-points. Came to full draw, it's so cold out. My release latched, but as I pulled back, it didn't lock totally. And my arrow launched, thank God it didn't hit anything. But I wasn't settled in yet and it spooked him off. But I'd rather have that as a totally clean mess, but it's so cold out. My release just didn't set in. As I came back, must have just ticked something and it went off.
The bucks slowly worked their way back into the field. But they were on high alert, and with the light fading and my confidence more than a bit shaken, I decided not to take another shot. It was early in the hunt, and I was hoping I would get another opportunity. This segment is brought to you by the sharpest, strongest replaceable blade knives that never need sharpening from Outdoor Edge. Night Eyes gear makes every adventure easier, safer, and more fun. Night Eyes is life's adventure kit.
Well, I just got in the stand, got everything all set up. It's about 3:40, so I got about a 5-hour sit if I have to sit till last light. And hopefully I'll see a deer and have a shot before then, but if not, it'll be a 5-hour set. Things are clearing up a little bit. It's gonna get cold tonight, but on paper this is looking like a good night for deer to be up on their feet moving after some snow and wind and colder weather. It just feels like a deery afternoon. We'll see. what to say. I shot midday because I was worried about this. I love this release, this whippersnapper. And it's a hair trigger, which I love. But it's been locking in and just any little touch. When I pulled it back, I was keeping my thumb behind it right here. And I was just settling in, and it just freaking went off. I released a little bit. I didn't put my thumb in the front at all. Not at all. Probably a wrap to my evening. I got that bull and cow moose out here at 80 yards. They're just out there feeding. I don't think there's any deer that are going to come in, and frankly, it's starting to get a little dark.
Before Colin picked me up, he had to pick up Josh, the other hunter in camp, who was successful on a really old, unique buck. A character buck like that is cool to see, and I was anxious to get back into the woods the next day. The wind was terrible for the morning stand locations, so Colin and I decided to go coyote hunting. I'm always up for a little predator control. I didn't bring my Fox Pro, and Colin loves to hand call.
Here comes a dog. We finally got a coyote down. It was amazing. Colin called twice. He was scanning this hole. I mean, you can see for 500-600 yards, and all of a sudden one popped out. It just must have been in line with a hay bale. I couldn't see. And I had this little willow in front of me, and I almost didn't get the shot off, but he's like 30 yards away. That's a lot of fun. One less fawn killer out here.
This segment is brought to you by Fox Pro and their new Buck Pro electronic deer call. The afternoon wind was bad for the stand I'd been sitting, so I helped Colin check trail cameras, and then we did some observing into the evening.
Here comes a buck. That's the 8-point. That's the 8-point. It's 36. just ran off and went in the trees. I could see the knockout lit up. There were 2 more deer with him. And they ran off and stood by the wood line.
Hey Colin, I got the shot off. It was the big 8. There were 2 more in there, but the shot looked pretty good. Maybe it wasn't the best penetration, but it may have hit the off leg. Yeah, just ran probably 80 yards into the wood line. Yep, I'll wait here for you and we'll see what blood we've got. Okay, see you in a bit. Bye. Thanks.
Oh, we bumped him. His bed was right here. Colin, is the arrow in the bed? Hey, Colin. What? Was the arrow in the bed?
Yeah.
Okay. What happened, dude?
I tripped on him.
What? Really?
I tripped on him.
Oh, baby, he's right there. Oh my God, Colin.
He got out of that bed, and I was just trying to find any kind of blood, and I was just ready to say, you know what, we're done. We got to come back in the morning, and I literally stepped on him.
Oh my goodness, look at that. Here, can you take the camera?
Wow. Colin, he's everything you said he was going to be, bud.
I'm so glad we found him.
Oh my goodness, so am I. Look at that. Colin, I am so pumped.
That's a great deer, man.
Boy, I tell you, the shot was right where I wanted it. You said they look a little bit smaller from the tree. That's exactly what I came here for. You and I talked about it. Just a good, mature deer.
Give me the green light. I'm ready for a showtime. Y'all see my name.
Well, we didn't get any less pretty overnight.
No, he didn't. Beautiful deer.
It all came together. This was, you've been doing this a long time. You've seen a lot of mishaps and trials and tribulations. This one kind of had it all.
Maybe never so many with one guy, but
I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
it all worked out.
It really did. Well, and saw him several times, and after you and I looked at the footage, hey, I had the first mishap with them, and then I passed when they came back, and you looked
Right.
at the footage, said, archery season, that's a heck of a deer.
Yeah.
And so when he came back out, I was like, okay, we're not going to let you get away a second time.
Yeah. It's one of those things, it's like don't pass them deer on Monday, you shoot on Friday.
That's right.
So
I certainly didn't settle. I
Yeah.
mean, you could say there's always a bigger buck or bull or ram somewhere,
right.
but as long as you're happy with them and you take a good representative and it's a mature, I mean, this thing's as big a bodied a deer as I have ever seen.
Yeah, it's a really large bodied buck.
And you watch him with those 2 other deer, you knew who the boss of the field
Yeah.
was. He was bossing them around. He was a year older than them at a minimum, and I'm tickled to death, so I can't thank you enough.
No problem, my pleasure.
Appreciate it. So every hunt I go on, I always take an Outdoor Edge razor blade, hoping I'm gonna have to put it to use. It's great. I should be able to use 1 blade. If not, just replace it. Comes with 6 replaceable blades. Don't have to sharpen anything, and this is all I need to take on a hunt. It's perfect. Canada was great. I certainly had a few issues, which in hindsight were likely operator error. But in the end, I was thrilled with the way the hunt ended up. Even though I gave up 2 weeks of chasing bugling bull elk in September, taking advantage of this cancellation hunt and hunting big Canadian whitetails with Colin Paley was well worth it.